Hey guys, it's me, Wendy. I just wanted to bring you a fun project of doodling on tags, and I did get this idea from Stephanie Ackerman, and she was doing a 6-part series of making a little scrapbook tag journal, and she has a bunch of cool Biggs dies for tags. However, I don't have the money to buy new dies at this point, but I did have these ginormous tags in my stash that I've been holding on for a while, and so I thought I would try to use them, and they are the manila tags. And she was demonstrating on poster board, and I think she might have had a few different color or different thicknesses of different papers, and her tags were white, so you may have a different effect if you're working on manila. But the idea behind her making these tags was to just make it very doodly, and using our framelits dies as another tool. So what that thought would be, if I take another tag, is she was tracing the framelit and having it as a template so that you can get more use out of your dies. And I just loved that idea, because sometimes we buy dies and we only use it one way, and that just really is sometimes a waste of money. So she just really loosely goes around, you know, she's using the inside of the die, or you can use the outside of the die, having it hang off the paper so it looks like one is behind the other. And then once she has it all lined out in pencil, she was taking some kind of marker and going around the outline. And with this, she did do it very loosely, so her lines were not always perfect. And this is really freeing if you can do it without being too worried about, are your lines perfect or not perfect. It's just loose doodles. And you know, if you can freehand doodles, that's fine, but this gives you a little bit more freedom just to doodle. And then she did, you know, have several different types of things she was using as templates, which got me to thinking, if you have any of those die cutting machines like the Cricut, the Scan and Cut, whatever you have, you always have this negative part that will usually go to waste, or if you're like me, I hang on to things thinking I will come up with a way to use it. So here you have a cat, so now you can trace a cat. Here you have a flower, you can trace this flower, although you might want to put it the right way and then create your spread from that. And then years ago I bought a bunch of chipboard, and something told me I needed to save these. Now, to some this can look like trash, but now you have all these templates to use in your doodles, and I have several of these. I mean, look at that. Is that cool or what? And just a lot of different styles and variations. And look at this flower, this little daisy flower. And there's some that I haven't even popped out yet. And then years ago I also bought some scrapbook paper that had these chipboard letters. You punch out the letter and now you have a template to make whatever word you want. So don't throw these negative pieces out, because you can use them in very unexpected ways. So I am going to use one of these daisy flowers to just trace this out. And then once she does the outline in permanent marker, although I don't know if it was permanent marker or not, you can just take an eraser and erase your pencil lines. Now this little petal here, you can choose to leave it or not leave it. And so she just went around the outside, and then I'm going to put something that looks like another petal. And then with when you do it a couple times, you always have space where you can doodle inside. So, you know, I just did some straight hash marks and it gives you this wonderful appearance. And then I just used circles, drew lines within circles, and I used some of my framelits and doodled inside to what I like to doodle. And then I had these alphabets that I just cut out and then I traced inside, and then I just watercolored. And then she also had this awesome tip to giving shadow so there's more depth. So I just used one of my gray markers and went around the outside to give it some depth. And if you think about it, wouldn't this be a great little project to bring with you to work, so that you had something to work on at lunchtime? And this is something that you can do with minimal space. You know, if you had just a lunchroom or a cafeteria table, you could get some of your art in. And you know, you can freehand doodles, you know, and the point of it is to not have it perfect. You know, I know there's a lot of crafters out there who try to line things up perfectly, but I find when you're not perfect, it's very freeing. So then you just go around here and just add the lines, and if it's not lining up, that's okay, because it's supposed to be whimsical and fun and not perfect. And that's truly what shows others that something is handmade, when it's not perfect. So there you have the beginnings of a new tag. And then this little framelit here, you could even do a series of circles and just put the smaller ones inside the bigger ones, and just loosely go through it. It doesn't need to be anything, you know, and just go around the outside of each of your lined penciled markings. And I like to go around a couple times, sometimes 3. It just gives you this whimsical look. And this one, since it's behind this front flower, just go up to where the flower is, so it is consistently behind that other flower. And you can change it up by putting the smaller one in. And then you have a nice beginning to a fun tag. And since these are relatively light, you can just bring a handful of tools. You could if you have these dies, you can just start tracing them, and then when you're at work, just go around the outside with the marker, and then you can bring in a little watercolor set and a watercolor with a brush, and the name of it escapes me, and you can get some of your creativity in at work or wherever you are. It's very portable, and there is no limit to what you can possibly make. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching, and have a great day. Bye guys.